Right. So the Plus version, the ChatGPT 4 version, is pretty good, and it is improving every day, and they're making constant changes to it. So that's what we're going to use. I'm also going to use another website that is, I'll post the name. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use Claude.ai also, or Claude.ai. So this is this is built by people who came out of ChatGPT in 21, and looks like they are Christians. So they built it nicely, but yeah, there are some limitations to it I'll mention. So ChatGPT 4 is not it is a bounded AI, so it's not giving output directly from AI. They have 4 or 5 layers of checks, and after that only we get the output. So we don't get the free version. Sorry, we don't get the unlimited version of AI, meaning whatever AI throws out, we don't see it, but that is filtered, that is optimized for us, and then only we see the output. So ChatGPT 4 is also about, I've noted here. So ChatGPT 4 is paid and limited by 50% of its creativity. So the real AI is super creative. I have worked on language models and I know how they work, and they're super good. But ChatGPT 4 is good, even though it is limited by about 50%. So 50% of the outputs we don't see at all. But even the 50% that they show, that's pretty good. Yeah, so, and I also want to say this, maybe let me increase the font size. Okay. So these AI models are pure math, right? So if you're wondering if somebody has programmed everything sitting behind and they are trying to push things to us, that's not the case. It's just pure math. Maybe I'll just show this in case you've not seen it. There is a page called Word Projector. Okay, so it's just math. I just want to show you that. So what is behind all these language models? We call them large language models. So this is an example of a word cloud. Yeah. So if I search for a word, say love, so this tells me that love and these words are closely related. Okay. So that's how large language models learn. So they learn for a given set of vocabulary, for a given set of sentences that are shown to the model, they learn that which word is related to which other word and how are they related. And so the word love, it's related to all these words in the vocabulary in a certain way. So how are they related? So that's how these models learn. So maybe one more word we'll see. Man, for example, man is closely related to women, men, girl, boy, person, human, robot, etc. So like that. So it's pure math, and what AI models are giving us is based on the mathematical calculations that they've done and what they understand as closely related, they are giving it to us, right? Okay, let's get back. Okay, so I have 2 windows, so I can show you simultaneously also. Right, so the capabilities of these models are super good. They are pretty helpful. So for some points I've noted down. So definitions, you can ask for definitions like define light. Okay, so you can also say for a 3-year-old. Okay, so I want to define light for a 3-year-old. Okay, So it says light is like the brightness that comes from the sun, a lamp or a flashlight. It helps us see everything around us. When it's dark, there's no light, it's hard to see. But when there's light, everything becomes clear and colorful. Light is what makes it bright during the day. And when you turn on a light in your room, when you turn on light in your room. So like that, no? So you can ask for definitions. They're nice, creative. You can also limit it to a certain audience. So I said for a 3-year-old. So this is good enough for a 3-year-old. You can use this to explain. The same thing if I say for a 17-year-old, okay? So it might give me a different explanation of what is light. So light in a more scientific context, suitable for a 17-year-old, is a form of energy that is part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so you get the point. So yeah, it gives some numbers and explains about photons and things like that, right? So you can generate age-appropriate, personalized stuff. Okay, so you can ask it to write stories. Okay, so give me a short story using computer, what, cake, and fan. Okay, so you can ask it to write anything, so it'll give you a story, right? Or once in a small town, there was a young girl named Lily who loved to bake. She had special talent for creating the most delicious cakes. Okay, so it's coming up with a nice story. Okay, so you can read that, right? So you can generate content, you can generate ideas, you can generate recipes, project ideas, experiments, language learning, debates. So let me show you a debate. Generate a debate, or dialogue between what, light and darkness. Okay. Okay, so I could also have said maybe for a 6-year-old or something, but yeah, so, okay. The significance of light versus darkness. Okay, moderator, welcome to today's debate. On one side, we have light representing illumination and clarity. On the other side, we have darkness. Okay, so light says something, darkness says something. Light again says something, darkness, no? So like that, no? So these models are super good in generating content like this, okay? So you can generate case studies. Okay, so yeah, case studies, songs, games, okay? Poems, jokes, puzzles. Okay, so I can say create a joke with the pen and the ball, ping pong ball. Okay, sorry. Okay, so something like this. So why did the pen and the ping pong ball start to band together? Because the pen was great at note taking, and the ping pong ball brought the bounce. Okay, I didn't get the joke. Okay, right. So yeah, it can generate jokes. Maybe you can also ask it to explain the joke. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay, it's explaining. Okay. Note taking. Okay. So it's explaining the joke for us. So like that, okay? Answer questions about math, science, history, subjects, etc. Okay, so we can ask questions about math. Say, for example, you can ask it to explain fractions. Okay, so explain fractions to 5-year-old. Okay, 5-year-olds can understand fractions. So sharing something. Imagine you have a big yummy pizza. You cut the pizza into 4 equal pieces. Each pizza is part of a whole pizza. Now, if you take one pizza out of that pizza, you have 1 out of 4 pieces. We say that as 1/4. It looks like this when we write it. Okay, so you get the point. So you can ask questions about math, science, history. It has swallowed everything. Yeah, lots of subjects. And so it understands lots of subjects. Yeah, you can also check answers. Say, for example, I think 4 plus 5 minus 9 is equal to 3. Please check. Okay. Yeah, you cannot put your mic in mute. Yeah, okay. Right, so it's actually writing a program to calculate this. Okay, so it's writing a Python code to calculate this, and it says the result is 0. And now it tells us actually 0, not 3. Okay, so first you add 4 and 5, which equals 9. Then you subtract 9 from 9, which gives you 0. Okay, so it shows it has written the code. So AI models are good in writing code. So they are very bad at math, but since they are good at writing code, they write code and solve it for us. Okay, so you can give complicated math also. It does it well. Okay, right. Explain complex concepts in simpler terms. Okay, so you can. Okay, so what is integration? Okay, so I'm from the engineering background, so I'm using engineering examples. Explain it to a 7-year-old. Okay, so let's see what it says. Okay, all right, imagine you have big squiggly line drawn on a piece of paper, kind of like a wavy hill. Now let's say you want to find out how much space this wavy hill takes up on the paper. Integration is a math tool that helps us figure that out. That's correct. So it explains integration to a 7-year-old. No? Okay, so things like that. Okay, so it's good in explaining complex. Integration is a pretty complex thing. We study in 12th, kids study in 12th and college, but it can be simplified and explained to kids in simple sentences, simple examples with relatable examples also. Okay, yeah, so you can use it to learn code systematically or any other topic. Unless it's a very rare topic. Okay, so you can analyze pros and cons. So what are the advantages of learning cursive handwriting? Just typing what comes to my mind, not planning this ahead of time. So okay, learning cursive handwriting offers several advantages, especially for young learners. Improved fine motor skills, enhanced writing speed, better retention and comprehension, etc. Right? So you can also ask it to tell you differences between things. So these are some things I noted down. Okay, so the advantages, if you see, it saves our time. You can speed up many things. You can automate things. You can generate a lot of content quickly. You can customize learning. This is something that I'm super interested about. I tell my students often that you can learn based on your speed, what you need more clarity on. You can probe and continue to learn. So that's something very good. Okay, expand exploration. So you want to know more on that topic, so you can discuss, ask questions, continue to ask questions and explore further. Enrich conversations. Yeah, so you can, yeah, it's related for foster critical thinking. These AI models are very good with why and how questions. So those two questions you can ask, and it'll go deeper and fetch answers for you. Some things we would have never thought. It'll tell us why it is so. So why does a candle melt and clay hardens? Okay, when exposed to heat. Okay, so something like that. So these AI models are pretty good in fetching answers for us from the word cloud that I showed you. No? So it's does this because of this reasons. Some questions we might have never thought of, we can ask AI models and they come up with a reasonable answer. Yeah, okay. Accelerate life skills, as I said, you can use it to learn many things, including language. Yeah. Okay, so as a Christian, how can we use AI models? So can ask it to explain a Bible passage. Say, for example, explain John 32:8. Oh, John 8:32, sorry. Truth sets me free. That one for the 6-year-old. Okay. So I expect it to quote the verse and then simplify it for a 6-year-old. Okay, so it quoted the verse, and it's like when you know something is really true, it makes you feel happy and free inside. For example, knowing you're loved by your family makes you feel safe and free to be yourself. This verse is saying that knowing the truth about things, especially about how much God loves you, makes us feel free and happy in our hearts. Okay, so something like that. You can ask it to give another example and things like that. Okay, so you can ask for Christian principles, theological concepts. Okay, so this is where I want to introduce the other website that I was talking about. So this is called Claude, CLAUD.ai. Okay, so I'll post the link on the chat in case you want to parallelly explore. So you can use the free version of this. Just that it's limited by the number of questions, but it'll give you the same answers, not like ChatGPT. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so this Claude.ai, as I said, looks like it's powered by some Christians. So it's very good when you discuss scripture. Okay, so let's ask the same question here. Let's see what it says. Explain John 8:32 for a 6-year-old. Okay. Jesus was talking to some people and telling them important things about God at one point. Okay, now if you type the same question in Claude.ai, you're going to get the same answer. Okay. Yeah. So one thing I should tell about Claude.ai. So it is much more limited than ChatGPT 4. So I said ChatGPT 4 is limited by 50% compared to the original unlimited ChatGPT 4. So Claude.ai is about 20% of ChatGPT 4, I should say. So it is very safe. It has lots of checkpoints. So it hardly makes a mistake, but it may not be as creative as ChatGPT 4. So if you want better creativity, you should use ChatGPT 4. But if you want more safety and if you're okay with limited creativity, then Claude.ai is super good. And it is very good for Bible-based content. So yeah, so it explains it in a simple way. Okay, so it's more kind. Calls the child sweetie. Let me know if you have any other questions. Okay, so you can ask a follow-up question and continue discussion. Right, answer common or deeper questions. So you can also ask deeper questions. Okay, let me show you an example. Why did God create man? Okay, so how many of us can answer this nicely for a child? Oh, okay, I didn't ask it to answer for a 6-year-old or something. Okay, God is love. So before God created man and the whole world, he just had a lot of love inside him that he wanted to share. Kind of like when you make a new friend at school, you want to share fun together. Okay, so it's giving an answer. Yeah, you can continue to expand, ask further follow-up questions, and so on. Okay, ideas for discussion. You can generate a lot of ideas. So give me a list of ideas to discuss with my daughter, with my 7-year-old daughter about what? About truth. Okay, right. So I ask it to give me a list of ideas. So it's giving me some ideas. Okay, so what does it mean to tell the truth? What happens when you tell a lie? Is it ever okay to not tell the whole truth? Why is telling the truth important? Who does it hurt when I lie? What if my truth will make someone mad? Can I handle knowing hard truths? Awesome. I love this. So it has generated a list of questions and also given you some hints on how to discuss it. You can ask it to give the answers also. Suppose you can just copy paste and say, give me a good answer for this. Okay, and paste it here. And it's going to give you the answer. Telling the truth is so important, sweetie. It means, okay, the context is maintained. So I asked in the first question, I said, I think 6-year-old. So it is continuing to keep that context. Okay, so it's giving me some examples and explaining why it is important to tell the truth. Right? Okay. Right. So generate ideas, conversation ideas. Okay. Generate thought-provoking Q&A. So like something like that, something like what we did. So you can ask it to generate a list of questions. Say you did some discussion on Jesus walking on water. Okay. So generate list of questions to discuss Jesus walking on water. Okay. So yeah, okay, so it's getting into the passage and it is generating questions about that passage. Okay. You can also ask it to, okay, there are some reflection questions I was just about to say. Okay, why do you think Peter asked Jesus to call him out onto the water? Okay, like that. Okay, applications questions. What impossibly hard things do you need Jesus' help with in your life right now? How can you keep your eyes focused on Jesus this week, even when life gets stormy or scary? Okay, so like that. Variations in topic. So you can say generate a poem, song, quiz, what else? Game for the theme, truth. Okay, you can present truth in so many ways. You can discuss truth in so many ways. So, okay, it's writing a song. It wrote a poem. It's writing a poem currently. Quiz. Eating spinach will make you stronger. Truth or lie? Okay. Game. 2 truths and a lie. Okay, that's a nice game. We all must have played it, right? So like this, you can generate content in different ways. Okay, so summary of Bible stories, characters, lesson to follow, not follow. Okay, examples to follow. Okay. You can also do role play. I think I've noted down somewhere. So let's do role play. You be Adam and I'll be Eve. Okay. Tell me how you felt the first time you saw me. All right. So yeah, Claude.ai will assume a role. Okay, clears throat and speaks in an imagined deep voice for Adam. Wow, Eve, the moment I first saw you, I just stared in wonder. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so you can do role play like this. You can continue the discussion. So now Claude.ai assumes that it is Adam. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so bridge science with real life and Bible. That's something we are trying to do through Garden for Christ and Socho Kids. So it's pretty good in connecting domains, different domains. So finding connections between different domains. So as I showed the word cloud, you have one big word cloud for science, one big word cloud for Bible, and these two come in a bigger cloud where science and Bible fits within the cloud. So it is able to find relationship between science and Bible. Yeah, so let me show you. Okay, let's get out of role play. Okay, so tell me if what shall I ask? Miracles and what gravity have anything in common? Okay, so I didn't think of this question before. So yeah, so let's ask, why not? Okay, that's an intriguing question. At first glance, miracles and gravity don't seem to have anything substantively in common. Gravity is a natural physical law. Okay, it'll come up with something. Okay, so you can read. I can share this with you if you want, or you can also generate for yourself. Okay, so it'll come up with some connection. Whether we agree or not, that's different, but it'll find a connection. Okay, so relatable examples for kids. Okay, we've already seen some help. You can get counseling help. Okay, so ChatGPT 4 is also good in those things. Okay, so I feel sad and alone. Give me some guidance. Okay, so maybe something like this. I'm just giving a simple example, but you can go deeper, say specific things, and okay, generate help. Okay, so it's giving you some ideas, right? So brainstorm ideas, interpretation. So you can give a particular verse and ask it to give several interpretations for that verse, all the interpretations available, a new interpretation if possible that you've never heard. Okay, personal application points, we've already seen an example. You can use it for medical help too. Okay, so my daughter saw a few days back, my daughter's cheek was swollen. So I did not use ChatGPT that time. Okay, or no cloud. Okay, my daughter had swelling below her ear. Has, let me see. Okay, what should I do? Okay. ChatGPT is also good in those things. Let me just put it on both sides. Okay, so some possible causes: infection, mumps, lymph node inflammation, new piercing, salivary gland blockage. I'm not a medical person to evaluate these things. Okay, so ChatGPT is giving a different way of looking at things. Okay, yeah, so people are using it, these models for medical help. Right, so discover new biblical truths and connections. I'm amazed at how many new things I've learned after discussing with these models. There are amazing connections they're able to find that I've never even thought of before, and reasons, how and why questions, right? Okay, this also is nice that we can take a print of these discussions from some of these discussions and ask kids to evaluate, is it telling us the right thing, or is it aligned with the Bible or not? Okay, so quickly some limitations of these models. It's not a person. It has no personal experience, although it'll talk as if it has personal experience, and it no soul. It relies purely on logic and data. So it has swallowed a huge amount of data, and a group called Anthropic has carefully built this Claude. So this is much better, much safer. ChatGPT is not built by Christians, but it's more creative and more wider context it has. Okay, so it's often emotionless, although it talks as if it relates with us with emotion, but yeah, it can make mistakes. So we should be careful about that. It has some biases. Say, for example, a simple example would be all nurses are female. No, so something like that. Okay, it has scope limitations. Not everything, it doesn't know everything, but it knows many things. So it has some limitations. Sometimes it presents fiction as facts. So it will confidently say something as if it's true, but it could be completely made up. Okay, so if you want an example, when okay, right, I'm just trying to think of some names. Okay, when Sam met Elsa, what did he say? Okay, I don't know who's Sam, who's okay. Elsa I can think of. I'm not sure which Sam. But if you ask something like that, it'll make up something and it'll say something confidently as if it actually happened. And so you can use real names also, and it'll say something. Okay, it'll come up with something. It usually doesn't say, I don't know these characters, or I don't have an answer. It doesn't say that. Okay, it could become addictive. I went through this phase, out of it now, but it's pretty addictive. You spend a lot of time with this. Okay, dangers. Okay, this should be here in dangers. Right, so dangers, too dependent. We can become too dependent on ChatGPT. Sometimes I feel if there are some days ChatGPT doesn't work, so I feel like my productivity is come down. Okay, diminished human bonds. So we don't get to relate with people so much. That's a danger. If we get too much into it, withdrawal, degraded ability to think and reason on your own. Yeah, so this is another risk that every time I depend on ChatGPT for ideas and reasoning, compromise moral reasoning. So slowly it might, there are cases where I've seen the moral reasoning explanations, not in Claude. Claude, I've not seen a case where I would say it is explicitly wrong. There are different ways of looking at it, presenting it, but ChatGPT has, it's not very Bible-based. So yeah, overconfidence. Yeah, so I might depend on ChatGPT so much that I might say, I believe whatever it says. No, okay, it has to be right or something like that. Okay, so outsourcing decisions. So instead of me deciding, I go to ChatGPT for decisions. Okay, so the correct usage would be to use it as an assistant, as a supplement, for why and how questions, for logic and reasoning, for simplifying and summarizing. They are super good in simplifying things, summarizing things, compiling, helping us build a curiosity, imagination, things like that. Incorrect usage would be, okay, so although they can do these things, but there are some legal issues. So ChatGPT nor Claude allows this. So they cannot fetch exact codes or words or sentences even from the web. ChatGPT 4 has access to the web. If you ask what is the latest news, it'll tell you, it'll go fetch it from the web. It'll summarize it for you, but it won't repeat the exact sentences. Even if it reads, it'll rephrase it and tell you in a different way. It can't fetch things for you exactly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it says it did a quick search. If you click this, it'll take you to the search engine itself. Okay. Okay, so there is some issue it couldn't find. Okay, but usually it gives us, okay. Right, okay. Right, so setting godly guidelines. So we've seen some good examples, but should we have some guidelines? I came up with some points. You can have your own points. This is just a starter. So parents' role as primary spiritual mentor, time limits. Yeah, we can set time limits. For our daughter, older daughter, she's allowed to use ChatGPT, but 5 questions in a day. That's what she's allowed. Yeah, so discuss ChatGPT chats openly. That's a good idea. So I read this, ChatGPT said this, and what do you think? And can ask our kids, what did ChatGPT say? Okay, so is that right? How is it? What does the Bible say? Or what do we believe? Okay, so things like that. Balance with human relationships. So not rely too much on these things, or think of them as something super superior. Okay, review conversation history. There is a history on what all happened. Okay, so what all conversations happen. So we can review history periodically, evaluate maturity of, so evaluate ourselves, evaluate our kids, evaluate ChatGPT. Okay. Okay, so some tips on framing questions properly. I showed some examples. Be specific, be very specific. You can, this is called prompt. So what you type here is called prompt. So you have to be very specific, so for a particular age group, this is the kind of output I expect. And this I want, this I don't want. You can be pretty elaborate, but be very specific. So if you say, give me a story, full stop, so that wouldn't help much. Okay. Provide relevant background. So if you have a context, if you want to establish a context, you say that upfront. Use open-ended questions for fresh answers. So if you're expecting some new answers, some new insight, then have some open-ended questions like just ask why, how. Okay, limit scope for specific answers, so you qualify it nicely. One question at a time. If you have a large question in mind, go step by step. Avoid ambiguity. If something can be clarified, more better specified, you can try that. Use keywords. Okay, specify the level of detail desired. So you want an elaborate output, or you want just a summary, or you want how? Okay, Ask for Bible verses to justify the discussion. Claude does it very well. Okay, so yeah, you can ask for Bible references for whatever it comes up with. Set boundaries and tone for the reply. So yeah, again, okay, rephrase it. Rephrase if you did not get the expected answer. So you got something else. So try and say it in a different way. Use slightly different words. Okay, state the purpose. Okay, provide examples and analogies. You can say something like this. I want you to reproduce, or I want you to generate for a different topic or for a different age group. Okay. Welcome contrasting perspectives. So ChatGPT 4 and Claude are very good in coming up with new ideas, new insights. So we should welcome, yeah, it's good to welcome. Okay. Probe blind spots. So something is not clear, something is not said. You can ask again specifically. Okay. Okay. So I think, yeah, 45 minutes it is. Okay. So I have completed my session. So I had sent some questions for some of you to review. So these are some questions. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not going to read them in case you have the same questions and they are not answered, you can ask. So let's get into a time of Q&A. If you have questions, you're free to ask.
Yeah, Brother Phil, I
Yeah.
want to understand how mature Chat GPT is in terms of handling language, because my first introduction to Chat GPT is around sometime last month. So my requirement was that I was thinking of two activities for my kids. One is that they need to grow in their knowledge of Scripture, which means not just memorizing Bible verses. Well, that is a start, and the second thing was that I wanted them to be proficient in my mother tongue, Tamil, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't study it in school. So I didn't want to do it the old-fashioned way by saying, go and memorize Psalm 1, Psalm 100, Psalm 121, go and memorize this Tamil book or whatever, right? So I wanted to pick out some 100 I identified from the song books, around 100 English hymns and around 130 Tamil songs. And I was able to get I just wanted to get it from ChatGPT, which I could easily do for English. If I give them a list of 10 songs and say give me the full lyrics for these hymns, I was able to get it.
Oh,
But
is
when
it?
I do that for
It was giving, is it? Okay.
yeah, for
It's
English
not
it
it's
is
not
able
meant
to
to
do
give. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. I didn't try that.
like a mighty fortress is our God, and
All right.
guide me now, great Redeemer. If I just put 1, 2, and 3, and I was able to get it. And
Okay.
but
Okay.
when I did for Tamil, it was said, yes, I have the lyrics. Here is the lyrics, and it was giving me some movie song lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wanted to understand it, because otherwise it's very cumbersome for me to go to Google and then take the find the lyrics. I should get some. If there are four stanzas, then I want all the four stanzas. So I'll have to check 4 or 5 Google search results and then
Mm-hmm.
copy paste it and put it into a document. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my use case.
Yeah, as I said, ChatGPT is not meant to be used like that. So it's not for fetching information. Yeah. So it's for more for generating information, more for summarizing, and yeah. So it's
Mhm.
not to be used for fetching. So you see here again, it's not giving me the lyrics. It's just giving me the website and saying go fetch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. ChatGPT 4 is not meant to be used like that. Yeah. So you
Okay.
instead you can and plus it doesn't have access to the entire web. Many things are, say Tamil, what could have happened is they may not be public, I'm not sure. Or if ChatGPT 4 has access to those websites, I'm not sure. Okay, when you language wise, it's still evolving. They are not very good.
Mhm.
Especially English Hindi translation, Google translation is far better than ChatGPT 4's translation, but it's evolving. It will become better and better. And
Okay.
small phrases, words, keywords, it's doing very well. ChatGPT 4 comes up with many new words, many words, more than Google does. So there are some advantages, but it's still evolving. So major languages will slowly settle and become better, but yeah, I won't
Okay.
be able to give a timeline when things will be better. Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
this is not to be used for fetching information. It's not meant
Okay.
for those purposes, even though if it does, great, but it's not meant for those purposes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. There are some questions in chat. I'll take them. Is AI bots good for school students to learn their subjects? Yes, recommended. There is Khan Academy has this ChatGPT 4 inbuilt, and it is guided and protected well. So Khan Academy has a Khanamingo, I think. So that's again paid. It was paid. They said they will make it free. No, I didn't check recently. Mingo. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, so yeah, you can check this. Okay. Oh, monthly payment of $4. Okay, they were charging $20. Now it's $4. So it's exactly like ChatGPT 4, but it's not open-ended. It's much more streamlined and guided. And yeah, you can't ask anything you want, but within the subject limits, you can do. But you have more options like role play and discussions, fun, insight, right? Okay, yeah, I certainly recommend, but with limitations and guidance for school students. What sites have free usage for ChatGPT? Um, I don't know if ChatGPT 4 is available free through any other website. People might give it for few use cases, for few questions, but it may not be for a long time, I believe. But this is the authentic website, chat.openai.com. So if you can afford it, you can get the paid version. Otherwise, you can start with the free version, and if that's only 20% of what ChatGPT 4 can do. Yeah. Okay. Are there any parental controls that we can set? You can to some extent, but not exactly parental controls. So you can give custom instructions and say that it is only being used by a 6-year-old, and so it'll limit the context to the 6-year-old. So it's like that. So how would you like ChatGPT to respond? So in these two boxes, you can fill in to kind of guide your responses. But yeah, this should take care most of the cases. Yeah, this is all there is in ChatGPT 4. Okay, how is it used in content creation? You can just ask questions straight away, like I want this. I want for this purpose, in this format, for this age group, and it'll generate it for you. Yeah. Okay, what is the future? What is the future you see in ChatGPT? Will it replace our education system? College education, maybe I would like it to replace in a big way. School education, I would like teachers to also use ChatGPT, or students can use ChatGPT some of the time in school or some time at home to enhance their learning, have some personal learning time, customized learning time. So that's good. Will it completely replace? It can replace, but that may not be a good thing for school students. For college, yes, for college, it can speed up kids' learning and it can help them go in a particular direction more deeper, faster. Yeah. So in future, things can change a lot. So ChatGPT 4 also has a mic. In the app, it has a mic. You can just put it on and just talk to it and get super fast answers and feedback from it at a higher level. Yeah, so things are changing faster. Yeah, we can use technology to if we sit on top of technology and we are the master and use it as a tool, then that's good. Yeah. Okay. As a proficient ChatGPT user, do you think it has good use cases in areas of health, nutrition? Okay. How many minutes of physical activity? Okay. Okay. In the decoding, you mentioned some helpful links for next steps. Please share those links with us. Okay. I did started compiling links, but now there is an explosion. No, everybody is coming up with variety of things. There are too many things actually to compile. If you have any specific requirement, you can let me know. I will find it for you. Otherwise, you could also search. I can show you. Okay, I can do this. I can compile a list of pages who have compiled things, compiled AI links. So I can share them with you and you can go there and look in further. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah. Okay. Some questions. Binu?
Bhaiya, I was saying that are we talking about this only in the cities? Like I live in Haryana, as you know. Do you think this is something that will take a lot of time to reach an average government school student or even college going student? Somebody who may not even know how to write prompts. Do I need to train myself now as a parent also? Like if my child is studying in a local government school or even not a convent school, do you think it will reach in the next 30 years where I need to think of these things?
Kids are super fast in learning. You just show them once and they will pick it up. So you'll have to decide whether you want it or not. And yeah, I mean, it's already there. In the sense, internet, wherever internet is there, kids can use it. Or wherever they have phones, access to phones, they can use it. There is a ChatGPT Android app. They can just download it and straight away start. So I would suggest everyone should know, and how much you want to use it, it's up to you, but you should know what's happening and you can help somebody, so places where teachers are not able to go or don't have good teachers or for a particular subject, or each child is different. I said customized learning, so each child can learn on their own. Writing prompts is not a big deal. It's like chatting with somebody. So kids learn very fast. And my daughter learned very fast. I didn't have to train or teach her. So yeah, it's just that we need to show them there is something like this and they will pick it up. There is
So you're the right.
Yeah.
You are teaching this and you have daughters at home. When did you come to realize that there's no running away from it? Like you limited it to 5 questions a day. Now some parent might say that we don't give Android phones to our children till they are past 12th or something like. So when do you realize that there is no running away? You have to give a phone. Someday they will use the chat GPT.
That's a personal choice that you make. So I cannot say you have to use this. So it's a choice that you make. I personally love technology. I don't use everything, but some technology I use, and I help kids also be comfortable with it. So we discuss those things at home. So it depends on how comfortable you are. As I said, one of the questions is it mandatory to use tools like ChatGPT? No, it's not. But if you think it's going to help you, it's going to speed up some of your things, and you can control whatever you're doing. You are the master, so you don't just get carried away by it. So then you can use it. Yeah. So it's like when we had TV at home. So do we just turn it on and just sit in front of it and waste time, or do we go for customized video on demand? So choices like that. We closed our TV when about I think 6-7 years ago. So we thought TV is no longer required for us. So there are other means for kids to know things. So things like that. So you have to make a choice. I'm not saying you have to use this, but there are good use cases. If you think it would benefit you and your children or your neighbors, you can introduce. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else has questions? Anything you want to ask? Oh, okay. Please suggest free download sites linked to enhance skill on this subject and AI. Okay, so if you want to learn how to prompt ChatGPT 4 or Claude, you can straight away go there and start using it. That's the best way to learn. If you want to learn AI, you can go to Coursera or edX. Depends on how technical you are. If you want a technical course or you want just an overview, yeah, based on that, I can suggest. Can you do a class for 10+ children, an introduction? Yep, we can do that. Provided parents can also be part of the discussion so they know what is happening. Yeah. Is technology compromising holistic growth? Like our cognition and knowledge is growing in big ways, but what about our relational skills? Yeah, that's something that we continue to think about. Yeah, sometimes we also consider this at home. Sometimes there is a worry. Sometimes we feel kids are getting too busy or too distracted by many things. Yeah, and not having quiet times to spend or relate. Yeah, so that's also possible. So yeah, we have to stay balanced. Yeah. The future, yeah. So living in a place like Hamirpur, Himachal, that's an advantage for us, that life is slow in general. And so we try to put a schedule for kids and also have good free time for us to relate with kids and for kids to relate with others. So, but still it's not easy. It's not, I'm not saying we are successful, but yeah, we have to think about these things. Yeah. Okay, what about data science and AI? Is it the same thing? And is it a good thing to upgrade to? Yeah, data science is about analyzing data, coming up with inferences. There was a question directly to me, so I'm reading that. Yeah, so yeah. So data science is analyzing data and coming up with the inferences, and AI is the general word that comprises data science. So these are called large language models, LLMs we call them, ChatGPT 4 and Claude. Yeah, so you need not know everything, but depends on what you want to learn. You can learn, adapt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we would like you to give an introductory session for our school students in different appropriate age groups. Even a recorded version will be useful for us to relay and teach them about the use of. Yeah, we can do that for school students. Yeah, a specific age group would help, so that we can fine tune for that age group and show them some samples. Yeah, how do you manage the danger of killing creativity? Yeah, that's a valid question. It's something like when calculators came in, did you forget addition? Okay, it's much more important than that. Yeah, so one thing I try to do or try to teach others is to think first, come up with ideas, and then take your ideas and build further ideas with these language models, and not straight away go there before you even spend time thinking about it. So something like that. Yeah, so this can also be compared to reading books and watching movies. So you read Chronicles of Narnia as a book, and you imagine the story. That's super good. It's much yeah. So I tell my kids, we read the book first, then watch the movie. So if you see the movie, the imagination part is killed, and you go to the book, you see lots of things that are not there in the movie. Yeah, so that's a question. That's something we need to constantly think about, keeping creativity alive, keeping our brain thinking first before we use these tools. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, is this the AI intro link? Okay, I given 2 useful talks, one about ChatGPT explicitly. So yeah, it's there in the same channel. Okay. There's another question. Will it become an addiction for kids like how social media has become today, and parents are struggling with their kids on a large scale? I think even if it becomes an addiction, it will not have as much negative effect as social media, I believe, because in effect you would be creating something. Everything is being created. So I'm not saying addiction is okay, but what I'm trying to say is it's not as bad as social media, I believe. You don't have boundaries in social media. You don't have, you can have lots of problems, but here there is a truth problem. There are some, yeah, I think there is only a fact and fiction conflict that's major. Apart from that, even if you get addicted, I think you get to do something, learn something, create something. That kind of outlook I have. But I'm not saying addiction is good, but yeah. The other aspects we just discussed, like your creativity, your original thinking, original thought process, will all be killed and compromised. So that's a problem. That's a major problem because AI models are getting better and better. So yeah, addiction is definitely not good. Limited time and limited scope is good. Guided usage is always good. Okay, after a career break, is it good to start with a course in AI and data science? It may not be a relevant topic, but just wanted to get an understanding. Yeah, you can easily study. I started learning AI in 2014 when there were very few resources, but now you have loads of resources, so it's very easy to kickstart. If you need any help, you can let me know. Please suggest do's and don'ts for an adult student, if any. Regarding ChatGPT, we discussed some points.
Yes, regarding ChatGPT and AI.
Yeah, so yeah, these dangers have to be kept in mind, and yeah, you can update this list for yourself, customize this list for yourself, and yeah, feel free to use. Yeah, so is that okay? Is that an enough answer? Are you expecting anything in particular?
I'll take it offline.
All right.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Right. Okay. ChatGPT is not a necessary evil yet. Any tool can be used both for any technology, for that matter, can be used both for good and evil. So it's up to us how we use it. Although people are a bit careful how they build it, ChatGPT 4 and Claude especially, but still there are evil use cases possible. So it's up to us how we use it. Is there a time limit according to age? How long these technology can be used with a balance? According to age, no, you have to set up time limits. I mean, the free version, you can, both the free and paid version, you can only ask a certain number of questions in 3 hours. I think paid version comes with 25 or 50 questions in 3 hours, something like that. But that's a lot. That 50 questions is a lot in 3 hours. So it's better to have time limits offline. So we can't set time limits here yet. Is there a way to connect with you? Oh, okay. I'll just post my email. You can use my email. Okay. Okay. I'll also share my number in case I wouldn't prefer calls, but unless you want something very specific, or WhatsApp is okay. I'm not very good at calls, so please avoid calling me. Okay. Yeah. Will the session be uploaded on your channel? That will be useful for our staff who did not join the session. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Okay.
Brother, I wanted your comments on health and nutrition. What good use cases are there?
Okay.
Just for example, I gave you 3 of them, right? Yeah, I wanted your feedback.
Okay. Let's skip that part. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, here it is. Okay. Is 140/100 a safe blood pressure reading for a 70-year-old? How many? Okay. Okay. So people are building specific GPTs. I did not show this. The paid version will give you access to a lot more GPTs. So this is a generic GPT, but the paid version will give you access to, I'm not sure how many. So there are a huge number of GPTs specifically tuned for each purpose. So yeah, so you will have something related to health care also. So yeah, so there is healthy chef, medical advice, therapy AI, psychologist, doctor AI, nutrition. So these are all specific AIs tuned for those purposes. So they would do a better job compared to the generic AI. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can also generate pictures, generate coloring pages. All those I did not show. We just discussed text. So yeah, there are a lot more things that AI can do. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, paid version is $23. Yeah, free version is 3.5, and paid version is ChatGPT 4, which is $23. Yeah. All right. Any other question anybody has? If not, we can close.